What's going on, guys? It's Shawnee Salami. This was the best game I played in a few weeks that I've recorded, and I think this is what Escape from Falmire looks like when it's at its absolute best. This is one of Chivalry 2's best maps because it's really long, but it never really feels like it. Every objective is very fun, and it does seem pretty balanced in my opinion. Bonus points, by the way, for not having any catapults and only a few ballistas. The ending of this couldn't be any more close for the VIP. I won't spoil who won, so stay tuned. But it was pretty funny to see that it ended up that close because I was a little worried going in. We were grouped up with 3 top players, John Wick's Pencil, NJH44, and last and certainly least, Joe Mama. And as much as I love playing with friends, it never really feels good when you're kind of stomping noobs together. And what I did before this update was some of us would often switch to defense to help out if we all ended up on attack. Despite what Reddit cries about, that hotfix really did fix things for the better. It seems a lot better now with the team stacking. There's always going to be team switchers until they just outright remove that, which they haven't for some reason. But as you saw in the thumbnail, I had 80 kills and 150 takedowns. It's the second most kills I've had with the longsword and possibly the most takedowns I've had. I don't really know. I don't really pay attention to takedowns enough. We did die a fair bit, but I think I've played better than this recently. And I do think the main reason my numbers were so crazy was because the game just was so long. There's a few other games that I've played better recently, but they didn't go the distance, for example, or just were too quick. Now, this was recorded a few days ago, but by the time this is up, Chivalry 2 will be free on Epic Games for a little bit, I think a few weeks, and it's also getting its first WXP weekend. So I'm a little worried about how games are going to go for the next week, or at least definitely the weekend. There's really no point in putting up videos of just killing new players. I remember the Steam release and then Xbox Game Pass, especially when it came on there, and then the PlayStation Plus release. There were so many new players that it made the game a little too easy. I don't think that would be good content if I'm looking at it through my eyes as if I was watching someone as a viewer. And I do think that it's just less fun in general for gameplay. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy some playoff hockey because I'm not sure if you guys knew, I'm a diehard New York Rangers fan. That passion comes before any silly story game. I've actually decided that if they don't win at all, I'm going to light myself on fire outside of Madison Square Garden. As much as I love this game, sports is more important to me. If you're a fan of any team, let me know in the comments or join my Discord. It'll be in the pinned comment. I really think we have the dumbest Discord of all time. It's not exactly the world's brightest minds in there, but it is fun. You'll laugh a lot, and you'll have a lot of funny conversations. But now, let's get into the gameplay. We're going to be using the longsword on Knight. I have been running Vanguard a lot recently, but it's not my best class, as you guys probably know. I just have so many more hours in Knight. So when I go back to it, it really feels like a weight off my shoulders almost, that I can take all these hits and not die as much. Great work by NJH44 to come jump in and help me out when I'm in a lot of trouble. Much love to that dude. He's done a lot for the community to get these standalones going every night. And he had an even better game than me as well. You'll see at the end. I'm going to put all 4 of our stats up at the end because we really did carry this team and make the big difference that pushed them for a win. Now, recently, something I've been trying to do to improve the quality of the videos for you guys is trim the fat a little bit. So, for example, is during the walk over here, we killed a bunch of stragglers from behind, but there really wasn't anything I thought that was necessary to leave in. I'll still be showing every single death unless it's something like I was AFK, things like that, because I think you can probably learn more from my mistakes than things I actually do well. Let me know if I'm off base with this new editing style. I'm always open to constructive criticism. I just want to respect your guys' time and not really leave unnecessary moments in. Here I find myself in way too deep. I don't know what I was thinking, but at this point I'm realizing I'm at least going to take a few archers down with me. I've said this many times, but the overheads are very slept on the longsword. The heavy overhead actually does more damage than the stabs, which is what you mostly want to be using, is those stabs. But I always found the overhead on this and the Messer a little weird and hard to counter. They can kind of look a little strange, and it's hard to hit them with the tip of your weapon while getting that counter off, for especially players on console without holding block. It's just one of those things I think you guys should keep in mind. The stab really is your bread and butter, that is true. But the heavy overhead is very quick for a heavy attack. Involve both of those into your feints, and it really just devastates vanguards, as you see right there as well. Here I get a little bloodthirsty, which really just means a good way of saying greedy. I see someone bloody, and it's going to make me get in way too out of position, and we're going to pay the price. This was a really cool fight. We're pretty evenly matched, it seems like, against this guy with the Vanguard battle axe. And it's really back and forth. We're each getting hits in. He's going to get me with an overhead after the kick, but teammates are going to come in on either side. That's what's so funny about this game, is those chaotic moments. Every time you think you got a one-on-one for an extended amount of time, it seems like that is what ends up happening. Nice bunch of kills here. We've been playing really well to this point, and for some reason I'm so delusional that I almost rage quit and got very angry. Luckily they talked me out of this, and in addition to that, we almost lost this objective, but Joe Mama sacrificed herself on it about 9 times, she said she died, trying to get it so we can continue. I should have pushed more on it as well, but in the end it worked out. For the record, that is something I've talked about in the past, so if you're new to this channel, I do have somewhat of an anger problem. I do rage quit quite a bit. It's not a Chivalry 2 thing, it's just a life thing, and I do apologize for that. I do get a lot of flack in the comments sometimes from people who have seen it. I do think it's better to get off something that's frustrating you than force yourself to play, but at the same time I do understand why people want me to feel guilty about it, because it does feel bad. And I don't think it's necessarily always the most fair thing, especially because of how frequently I do it. I'm not trying to use the mental health excuse. It doesn't make it okay. Dying like I do here does make me laugh, but it's also oddly embarrassing at the same time. A pretty good fight here that I do think I misplayed to an extent. Something you want to do when fighting one-handers, guys, I haven't pointed this out in a little bit, is you want to crouch to stop your forward momentum. Right there I did it, but it's really a very important thing to do when you're fighting quick and fast weapons. The idea is you neutralize their reach, because every time you crouch, the swing or stab doesn't move you forward like it usually would. We don't do it enough here, but we use some good footwork. Even though missing a few overheads, he misses some as well, and we are able to come out on top. Very good fight there. I'm pretty happy because, again, I've worked on positioning recently, and it's good to see it paying off as I'm not too far ahead trying to just push those levers for no reason, because if I did that, it would put maybe some pressure on them, but it would get me killed very quickly, and staying with the team and sending people to their spawn wave back as well really makes a bigger difference than if I'm just suicide running at those levers. There was a chance I can meet my personal best in kills or surpass it, which is 90, and we do come up short, but I declined VIP because I think it's very corny when people wait at the boat and don't really go in just to pad their stats. So I'm not going to do that. I decline it. NJH really did have a better game than me, but I'm a Warhorn merchant because I'll leave the stats at the end for you guys to see. But when you do, I want you to pay attention to how little he died, because relative to the game being so long, I don't think my deaths were that crazy. But the way he kept his so low really is something I'm aspiring to get better at. Very good work by him. All of us really did pull our weight the most. It was very fun to see this. This is going to come down to the very last moments. I want you guys to watch this, so I'll keep the commentary to a minimum for a bit. Awesome little killing spree here, fighting side by side with my friends, but you'll never guess what happens next. Now, while the game was going on and we were playing it, it felt like nobody was protecting him. But as I'm watching this back, it really does seem like it was more so the other team was just as focused. So he's at very low health. There's only 2 minutes to go. It's time for him to try and make a decision of what we're going to do here, because going back to heal is a great idea, but with how much they're pushing, I would have not known what to do. So let's see if he can get this done. So as we get the win, 100 bombs for everyone. Great game here. NJH only died 9 times, as I mentioned. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.